Good morning, fellow Forex traders. It's Tuesday, October 31st. I hope everybody's had a good night or a good day so far. Had some movement overnight in all the currencies. Let me get it lined up better. There. It's the pound dollar. That's what we've been talking about, the target up to here, and we got close. We got up to about here, expecting it to go up to here. So I'm still holding this and stops up under here right now, the second half of my position. So I've been able to move it from here to here to here after taking off the first half. So it's made a good move up. The Aussie dollar went up to where we expected to fill in its flush down. Now is it going to continue higher? Is this the end? We got big news tomorrow here in the US, tomorrow afternoon. The interest rate decision. So after the initial move in the morning, early in the morning, there won't be one till after that rate decision. I think it was Friday is the non-farm payroll here in the U.S. So that's going to be a mover too. Pound CAD is making a 1 hour sell signal. I'm not sure that's done to the upside just yet. Pound yen, it actually went up and took out the flush, but we were expecting it to go up there, so that's even better if you're still in it. Because when it does like this, there's going to be a flush back down to fill this in. There's a flush up like that. It just doesn't happen immediately. Like right now, it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to take time. This could push higher and then come down, so it could be a couple of days. But if you got in this trade down in here, your initial stop was there. When it pushed up and made the higher high here, you should have moved your stop up under here. And when it does this, you just have to continually do it. Any kind of little slight retracement, you got to move it up to it. But when it's got this big candle, you almost have to move it up under here, because there's going to be a retrace of some kind. Probably come back. That's a yearly pivot. See how we've went above it, closed above it, ran up some more. Could come back and retest it before pushing higher. That's on the pound yen. That's 1 hour. Euro New Zealand. It's coming back up into the sell where the sell was. Pound New Zealand not doing anything. Look at that. Not really done anything. New Zealand yen, it came up and took out its, let me squeeze it in. So that's the yearly pivot right there, which is now resistance. So you would think we're going to come up and fill in this flush and come up close to here. Not today. That won't happen today, because this has done the same thing. It's made a flush up. There is going to be a retrace on this at some point. Probably not today. There's going to be a slight retracement, but it could push up higher, and then another day or two before it comes down and fills this in. It doesn't do it automatically. So that was the New Zealand yen. So I've had a good week with these so far. Euro Aussie kind of doing nothing. Went up for its sale, but that was the other day on, let's see, Thursday when that sale was. And you'd be out of that now. You'd be stopped out, because that would have been your stop. when it made the flush down, you'd have been coming down from up in here to down here. You stopped out. Now you're waiting to do something else on the Euro Aussie Euro CAD. It is made a 1 hour sell. Again, I'm not sure it's done to the upside. Let's see where. Oh, it's still pretty far up. About 400. So this is what we got here. Nothing to do on the Euro CAD. Pound Aussie. That's what I talked about yesterday. Coming back into this buy, low risk trade. Got in that trade too as well. And I've already taken off half the profit on it easily because it's made a pretty good move up. So I got my entry from down here. Initially that was the stop when you get in. Now it's up to here. And a little push higher, I'm going to move it to here. So that's going to make money. It's going to make a little bit more money than what I made on my first half. So done good this week so far. Pound dollar, the pound yen, the New Zealand yen, and the pound Aussie. CAD yen made a buy down in here. There's the yearly pivot, closed above it, gone higher. Should be a retest on the CAD yen. See, that was a buy yesterday, which was about 2 o'clock when that candle ended. And that's your stop loss when it makes the push up, and you can move your stop to there. When it makes a push higher, you move your stop to there. And now because this big huge candle, you know it's going to get retraced, and it's probably going to do the resistance, so you can't really put it here. You almost have to put it right here. But with this huge move, I've moved mine right here. That big candle, when it does that with a wick, it's usually going to come back and fill that in, which means we're going to retest this line right here. So I've already taken half off the position, and the second half of the position is making more than what the first half did, which is the objective. Euro yen, same thing. It screamed and ran away. The yen is weak. Let's see. So let's see what the dollar yen is. See what the dollar yen is. Okay, it's back at the 150s where it's sold off from. So I need to add to this position because I'm short from 149.90s overnight. It really made a big move up. So must have been some bad news on the yen. Yep, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Adding to the position short on the dollar yen. Now see, this is a flush up. This will be retraced. Not today. That won't happen today. But there will be a retracement back down into here. So that's on the euro yen. The Aussie yen did the same thing. Made the push up. It should be getting close to pivot. There it is right there. So we got about 98, a little less than 300. So that's maybe where we're heading. Not today, of course. That's going to take several weeks. But there's going to be a retracement in here. With the Aussie yen. So let's see, that's for all those right now. So it's made a 1 hour sell on the Aussie yen, and we're going to have a slight retracement, but this could still push higher today. The pound dollar is retraced, made a 1 hour sell candle, but I don't think it's done to the upside. The flush is up here. So we'll see how this does today, and it could be a retest of this yearly pivot, which is now support since it broke it, and that could happen today, the range. But I'm looking for a potential profit target of this because I'm still in this with my second half, but that's where my stop is right here. So that's made money already. Good money. Hopefully it's going to push up to there. Aussie dollar. Oh, I meant to say that welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I do Forex swing trading. I'm live. Be 4 weeks tomorrow that I've been live streaming. I live stream Monday through Thursday in the U.S. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. until usually about 9, somewhere in there, depending on how many questions, comments, and stuff I have from people. Could be longer. But if you're new to the channel, my channel, then please hit the subscribe button, and you're also going to have to click on the notify me button, and then YouTube will send you a message notifying you that I'm on live. That's the easiest way to do it. So the Aussie dollar has gone up and filled in. It's flush down. So what's it going to do now? Indecision. So there's nothing to do here unless you were in the sell from up here, and you would have taken off half of your profit, and that would have been your initial stop. You'd be at entry right now plus $1 or $2 on your second half. So you would already made money. You're going to make money on the second half. You just hope it pushes back down, and if it does, it pushes down and makes a lower low down here, then you can move your stop to here. Pound CAD's made a 1 hour sell. The pound yen is made a 1 hour sell. I've got a feeling I'm going to have a retrace down to here, but it may go up, make a higher high first, and then come down and retest that yearly pivot. Euro New Zealand, unless you're in this sale from here, there's no buys here. Pound New Zealand is wow, it's done nothing for several days. New Zealand yen has made a 1 hour sell signal. So looking for a retrace on that too. I've moved my stop on this by where I got in down here. See how it ran away? Ran up. This was your average Trader Joe gets in. They see it run away. Oh, it's going, it's going. I got to get in. It's going to go. And it goes up a little bit, but then it takes it completely out. Most of them aren't holding their stop if they got up in here. So I've moved my stop. Entry was right down here. I didn't get the exact low like I said yesterday, but it was close enough where it's still my risk reward was good. And then when I was up this morning, was able to move my stop. I was glad to see this. Had to have been the Japan news last night because they had news, but it looks like it wasn't good for them. So my stop's not under here because I know it's going to come back down even more than that. But when it makes that big candle with that big wick, then you have to watch. But it's made good money. Made good money this week. Good money. And the Euro odd. Nothing to do on it. If you was in the sale, you could have been stopped out. That should have been your, when it was brown on the second half. You got stopped out over here. And you're glad because it's pushed higher. Euro CAD's made a 1 hour sell signal, but I'm not sure that's done to the upside just yet. My pound Aussie needs to push up here because my stop is underneath here, the low of that candle. But I've already taken off half my position, and the second half, my entries, which was down here, I've now moved it up here, so it's made just as much as my first half of my position. And I'm looking for more. Looking for a retrace to retest this pivot, which is now resistance. See how it come down from there, sold off. We tried to get up there, but they beat it back down and said, okay, we'd rather have it down here where the move is bigger. So hopefully that's what it's going to do, but it's not going to reach that today because the range is too great. The CAD yen, my stop is up here. Again, that's another one of those big candles with a long wick. I don't like those. It does mean rejection sometimes, but it does get filled in a lot, especially when it's a big move, so they could come back in, fill it, and take it out. Now I think there's going to be a retest because see, that's a yearly pivot. We got above it, we was below it for a day or two. We come back and retested it there, went lower. Now we've come back. They had to come down, get more buyers. Got rejected up there. Need more buyers for the big push. So if it gets stopped there, that's fine. I've already taken off half of my position way up here. So my second half is making more than my first position, which is, that's the whole goal, is for that to happen. But you just have to hang on to these for a day or two or sometimes longer. So patience is the key. Let me look at the 4 hour, see where there's a potential target. See, it went up and hit one. I don't think it's going to do that today because that is another 60 something pips. That won't happen today. Now if it comes down here and pulls down and retests this, then that could happen tomorrow. It could pull down here today and then they turn around and drive it right back up. But we'll look at a 4 hour, see what it says. Well, that definitely looks like that could be where it's heading, is right here. Right there. Once we clear this pivot. That's the next. But again, that won't happen today. So hopefully I'm going to be able to stay in that trade. but I don't think so. I think it's going to retrace down to here. And the Euro Yen's made a 1 hour sell. So the yen is weak from apparently bad news in Japan. So there should be a retracement some on the Euro Yen and the Aussie Yen, but the Aussie could push a little bit higher before it sells off, even though it's got a sell signal here. So anybody got any questions or comments, feel free in the chat or in the comment section on my YouTube channel, and I'll get back to you quickly. Unless you're overseas and then you do it overnight when I'm sleeping, then it'll be the next day, and it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's just that the time zone difference, but I will get back to you. So I do swing trading on the currencies. I look at 14. I'm at 15 now with the dollar yen. I normally don't trade it, but because of the Bank of Japan at some point it's going to step in, I'm shorting it, looking for a drastic move down like they did a couple weeks ago, even though that was just a send a message. That's all that was. So it's back up here now. So I'm willing to sit and wait on that, and if it goes higher, then I'll just continue to short it. Just expecting it to do that. So the news today, do we have news today? I know we do tomorrow and Friday, and of course Thursday we got the weekly payrolls. Jobless claims, weekly jobless claims. So that's the pound dollar, even though it's got a sell. There could be a retracement in here. See, we got to retest this, I think, before we go higher. I hope it's not today. I hope it goes up higher and fills in its flush. Like I said, this is where my stop is on it now. And if it's coming down here, then we're going to get a retest, and it's going to stop me out. But then I'll have an opportunity to look to get back in, but it won't be till down here. I was on this one. So we talked about this. You had plenty of chances here to get in, but I think that was overnight, wasn't it? No. Oh no, this is the one where I had also where it got exactly to where I put the number in, it went exactly to it. That doesn't happen that often. Dang, that was just luck. But then I still could have got in on this account because that was 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, which was started, so I could have got on that one easy, so I wouldn't have missed it. But when it made its push up, I initially got stopped out here. When it came down yesterday morning, we talked about this. It was another low risk trade if you missed this one. So I've made money twice on this thing. This one from here, that would have been my stop loss initially right there, and the push up, and now I'm under here. My stop's been moved from here to here. I've already made my 40 pips on the first half of the position. And I need this to push up to fill in this flush in here. It'd be nice if it takes out that high too, but at least up into here today. So I'm looking for a little pullback, and then a push back up where I can move the stop up into here, and if it does get up into here, then really tighten my stop up, expecting a push back down to retest the pivot. Aussie dollar, it's gone up to where it's filled in, it's flushed. If you got in a sell right there, you made money already on your first half of your position, and you just hope it don't take this out. You want it to come down and take this low out where you move your stop from there to here. Initially it would have been here if you got in up here, and you'd be moving it to down here. Your entry now, I mean your stop loss now should be at your entry plus a couple of dollars, because if this comes on up, it's going to take that out. We need it to come down, take out this low, where then you can move your stop from up here, your entry plus a couple of dollars, to here. So now it's making more money. But we need the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? 1 hour sell. I don't think that's done to the upside. The pound CAD. I think it's got another little push to go. On the 1 hour, let's look at the 4 hour. And it's making a sell signal now, but it's got 32 more minutes, so there's nothing to do using the 4 hour candle. On the pound yen, it's made a 1 hour sell. I think it could push a little bit higher, take out that high, and then start to come back, because we got to retest this. Now it could be today, could come straight down and retest this and then go higher. But see, we got a flush up. This is what's called a flush up. See, it filled its flush down, it filled that in. Now we're going to be looking for a flush down to the downside to fill this in. That won't happen today. It may not happen for several days, but we do got a lot of news that can move this thing. See, I had to move my stop when I got in here yesterday. I was able to move it up when it started moving up. Let's see, this was at 10 o'clock at night, which I was still up. Fortunately, because I had other stuff to do and questions to answer. I had some people send some comments and asking questions. So I was up to about almost midnight here. And then, of course, the dog gets us up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So needless to say, it's a 2-cup of coffee day today. But my stop is right up under here now, because there's that big wick and big huge candle. I think we're going to get a retest of this first, which would be good. But I hope it doesn't come down and up underneath there. But I don't care, because I've already taken off half the position, and the second half has really made good money. This has been a good week, and it's just Tuesday. Euro New Zealand, it came up to, it's flushed down, but it's grinding higher. See, it's making a lower high, higher high, even a lower high, a higher low I should say, and then a higher high. So we're climbing up gradually. And there is potential for this to go up today on the daily range, up above into here. 82, yes, up above, which means it's going to take out that high. That could happen today, but this is still in a sell position. So if you got in here, you're not going to get the exact spike up. This is already going to miss it by a couple of pips. but that high was 82.64, and that high, I don't put it on it. $64.36. How much is that? 28 plus the spread is 34. So your risk was $34, which is over mine, but I'm beginning to see that 40 could be a number as well. For the sale, so that's one to keep an eye on, but not now, because now it's going down even more, so the risk is even greater. It's more than that now, 40. So I can't get in it. So good luck to you who got in that trade up into here. You just need a push down. I didn't get in it. I am not in this pound New Zealand. There's nothing to do there. I am in the New Zealand yen, but that's my stop because I'm expecting it to come back down to here. And I see the flush up. We got to fill that in at some point. That won't happen today, but we'll see how this plays out. The Euro Aussie, I am not in this trade. It made a move straight up, couldn't get in it. There was a sell right there to get in, and then there was another buy opportunity down here, and that was yesterday morning. We had talked about that. This has been your stop, 65.90. This came down to, I know that it ain't moved yet. Come on, give me 65. What is this low? What is the candle so small? Come on, give me the low here. Oh, it's not even doing it on those. Well, anyway, let's guesstimate. That's 90. It's got to be in the 80s. And that's 57. And that's got to be in the 80s. So that's about 25, 29, 28 or $29 risk. I could have sworn that was more. That's 57. Wish this thing would work. I'll do it once because it's not 57 again. It's just not caught up with it. $57. Yeah, it's got to be in the 80s. So that's about 30 something. I think it was over 30 pips, if not mistaken, when we talked about it yesterday. Because I said the same thing. I'm looking and seeing more and more that there's a 40 where you could let it come down to 40, but it just messes up my risk to reward that I have. But it still does work. I mean, you can see that. So I may have to move that out a little bit more because I've definitely got off half a position from there up in here. And the second half, I probably, let's see, probably need to move this now. That's a big candle. So I'm going to give it a, let's see. This is a tough one. If I move it under that candle, and that's too close, I got a feeling I'm probably going to get stopped out there. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm just going to move it up under this low here. I'll move it right to the low, actually. Move that to the low of that candle. That's a big candle. I'd like to put it underneath that, but that's a retest area right there. I mean, it wouldn't be that much. Well, it would be a little bit more. not a whole lot more. Okay, so this is what I gotta do. Move it up. Okay, so I've got the stop moved up. And I think that's the only one I've got to move up. Okay, so that was the only one I had to move up there. But I just got a feeling that that might retrace back down into there. If I move it up to there, I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I'm happy. I've already got money, so I don't get another 10 pips. That's okay if I get stopped out. EuroCAD has made a 1 hour sell. It's trying to come down now, but I don't think it's done to the upside. I just don't. Pound Aussie, I'm still in this. I need a push up and finish filling in. There's a retest area. That's where I'm hoping that it's going from this move here. Remember we talked about this yesterday. Low risk trade. You wouldn't have lost, but what was it with the spread? $7, sorry, less than a combo, a Big Mac combo meal. That's what I said yesterday. It's less than a Big Mac combo meal is your risk. That's it. And if you got in it, you took off half your position over in here, and now the stop has been moved up to right here, so it's going to make as much, if not a little more, but we need a push up before we need a push down. So in the CAD yen, there's its push up. Now this is a flush up, what's called a flush up. It's going to get filled in, but it won't today, but it will at some point. But I'm expecting more of a retest here before a push up. So hopefully it's not going to push up, but a lot of times these make a higher high before they come back and retest. So there's news tomorrow in the US and Thursday and Friday. Let me get a refill on coffee because I didn't get much sleep last night, so this is definitely a 2 coffee day. Had to answer a bunch of questions last night on YouTube. People had. Yeah, been a good week. This has been a good week, and it's only Tuesday. See, here's the other one. See, I've had to do the same thing. I've had to move my stop under. I don't like doing that, but when it makes this big honking candle and it's got this long wick, I have to move it up because there was no other opportunity to move it up, because it just kind of ran up because of the Japan had bad news last night. So I may get stopped out here because it may retrace some down before it heads higher, but that's okay. I've already took off half the position over here, and the second half of my position is going to make twice as much or more if I get stopped out there. But just got fingers crossed that it don't come out and take that out, but I got a feeling it's going to retest down in here, and then we're going to go higher. And the odd yen is the same thing. Now this one I'm not in. I didn't get in it. I was in it from over here the other day last week. Then when I moved my stops up, I got stopped out because my last move up was right there, and I got stopped out, and now it's gone higher. That risk would have been too great, I believe. 62 was that low. and 23. That's 39 plus the spread, so 42. So there's another 40 number that actually had worked on the Aussie yen. So if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. I do Forex swing trading for using 1 and 4 hour charts. If you're here and you're looking to gotta have 20-30 trades a day because you gotta pay bills, make money, feel like you have to make money, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to make money. If you do, then you need to stop trading. Yesterday, do a demo account and put as much money away, savings as you can. Maybe cut out going out to eat once or twice a week, and then learn to trade. Everybody has a different strategy, which I'm sure you can tell on YouTube, but I used to follow them guys and trade on my own too, doing 1, 3, 5 minute and sometimes 15 minute, and I blew 2 separate accounts trading that way. So the old saying, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and then I burnt the t-shirt because I'm never going back to that. That's not the way to trade, and the way I found to trade definitely works. I've done it, started trading in 2006, didn't become successful until 2007, but then I started making more money than where I was working on my real job. I said, what's a swing trading? Because I could work a full-time job and still be able to trade, because now I wasn't having to look at it all day long. Because I'm looking at 1 and 4 hour charts, you know, you got more time to do other things. So yeah, there's a bunch of 1, 3, and 5 minutes. So if you're looking for a room to be entertained, then you need to go to them, because my room is just for training and education, to where you can learn. Because 95% of traders lose money and blow their accounts. So why would you want to follow them? They're in the 95%. The 5% of the ones that's in the know, Goldman Sachs, the brokerage houses, they never lose money. They never lose unless they get, you know, like when was it, 2008 or 2006, somewhere in there, where somebody, the banks, no, it was before then. No, it was then, because the banks overextended themselves, and that was from, they got too greedy on their trading, overextended. They were on the wrong side of the collapse, the housing market collapse, which affects currencies too. Yeah, this is pulling down. The yen is in a sale, but I think that it's only going to come down probably to here, and then there'll be a turnaround to the upside. But it's reached its daily range, but it could retrace the final range and make a little bit higher high. So anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free. If it's first time here for you, I probably need to put up a little something on the website, my YouTube channel, I should say. I need this to come up. Need it to come up to here. It's going to come up to there. It may not be today. We could get a retest where we broke away from before we go higher. And if we do, I'll get stopped out, because my stop is right there at that low. So, which is okay, because I've been in it since over here. And then I got stopped out when I moved it up to here after this push up. I got stopped out. Was able to get back in it yesterday. And now I've been able to move my stop. Already took off half the position, moved my stop up underneath here now, so I'm hoping don't go down any further. But there could be a retest. This is a yearly pivot. It's crucial, as you can see. As you can see how we got away from it and came right back to it. So I'm looking for a retest. Let's see if I can show you this picture over here. Here we've tried to run away from it, and we come back and retest it. Actually closed below it, but we come back into that buy, and then it blew to the upside, and it's come back and retested again. So I would think it's probably going to retest that, which means this, my second half, is going to get stopped out, which is okay, because now I can look for another position. And if it can come down into here, then I can get into the position, because my risk to reward will still be in effect. That's on the pound dollar. I just use 1 and 4 hour charts. If you're new to the channel, again, I'm on here live streaming Monday through Thursday. Don't trade on Fridays, but I do peek at it to see if there might be a trade setup, because sometimes that happens, but not very often. And then if I need to move my stop or profit targets. You say, why don't you trade on Friday? There's other YouTubers trade on Friday. Well, they're their average trader Joes. So they're in the 95 percentile. The big boys do not trade on Fridays. And you may ask, how do I know that? All you got to do is look at the volume. Common sense will tell you, why is this cut in half or even more than half on Fridays? They're not there. They're the ones that move the market. So if they're not there, I don't need to be there. And I let the average trader Joe fight it out every day for their 8 to 10 pips on average, or 10 to 15 cents on a stock. See, I don't go for that. I don't go for 8 or 10 pips. Get all excited when it runs away. It's going to come back to you. You just have to be patient. You may have to wait a day or even 2. But when you do, you get rewarded with payment. Your patience. See, if you missed all this, and it came back into here, what the risk to reward were still good, then you got rewarded for your patience. Now that was a couple of days you had to stay in it. When this move started, I know that's not the 30 for the 26th, which would have been Thursday, and here you are today. So you had to hold it over the weekend, so you had to hold it 5 days. But you have to learn patience. I'm expecting it to come up to here, to fill in the flush down, and maybe even take out that high. But at least up into here to fill the flush down. That's what I'm doing, and I'm going to take off the rest of the position there, expecting resistance. But I just don't want it to come back and retest, but it looks like it's going to come back and retest, which will mean I'll get stopped out right here on the second half of the position. But that's fine. My entry was down here. So I already made good money. I've had a good week so far, and it's only Tuesday. But just remember, with tomorrow, it's the U.S. interest rate decision tomorrow afternoon. And then early in the morning, there'll be a move. But then it's not going to do anything until late in the afternoon when that rate decision is announced. Then there'll be all kinds of craziness. So just be careful on anything tied to the dollar, which the pound dollar is. Yep, it's going to come down and get me. It's going to retest this yearly pivot, but then I can look for another opportunity as long as it doesn't go below that low. But if it does, then I can get in, because the risk or to be even better. But even if it can come down to here, I can look for a buy up to here. That's on the pound dollar. The Aussie dollar is in a sell. It went right up to it. It filled its flush down in, filled it in, and now you're coming down. I didn't get in this trade. Those of you who may have got in this trade, your stop initially would have been over here. You would have taken off. Now when I say half, that's just me. You're welcome to take off an eighth, a third, a fourth, 3/4, whatever you feel comfortable with. So do that. You would have done that already, and then you would have moved your stop to your entry plus a couple of dollars, and it would have come up. You wouldn't have got stopped out. Now it's pushing down. You got to wait for it to take out this low, or at least test the low right there, which is getting close to. Then you can move your stop from there to here. So now it's made almost the same amount as your first half of your position, and you just follow it down. The stress is off. This is what I'm talking about. 1, 3, and 5 minute charts, you're going to have a ton of stress because you're constantly going to get stopped out with 8 or 10 pips, having to look for another entry. See, in my trading, I don't have to. I'm already in it. Not this one. I'm not in this one. But for those of you who are, congratulations. Just follow it down. Pound CAD is made a 1 hour sell, but I don't think it's done to the upside just yet. Even though there is a sell signal there. I could be wrong, but it just feels that way. Pound yen done. This is where we talked about yesterday. It was in this. This is my stop underneath this candle now. Because with this push up like this with no retracement, when it makes this kind of candle, it makes me nervous. So I'll go ahead and move my stop up underneath that. Now it's probably going to come down and retest this yearly pivot, and maybe even go lower and maybe even close lower. I hope not too far, otherwise it's going to stop me out. But it done its flush up. See, the reason we got in was expecting this flush down that is going to get filled in. Now it's taken a couple of days because this is from Friday, I believe. I know it's not the 30th. I don't know why this thing is so slow about telling me what the data is on this. So that would have been Sunday night. Then it come back down. This is where I got in, was down in here, where I had been able to move up my stop to here now. That's on the second half. I took off half up in here because it is a 50 to 60 depending on the range. I got 50. The second half is what's made me the big money, and it looks like it's going to try to come down and retest. So there's nothing to do now, even though it's got a 1 hour sell signal, and it might work. It may come down to here, but you just have to make sure it's a low risk trade. Euro New Zealand, not in this trade. Probably could have. I think that's more than at a 70s. Yeah, that's more like a $50 risk, so that's too great. Nothing to do on pound New Zealand. New Zealand yen, I'm going to get stopped out. That's my candle, and it's definitely coming down. Probably down into here. Somewhere down into here. But I'd love for it to turn around and make a higher high where I can move my stop up again. But again, was able to get into here yesterday. And initially had my stop on the start of the push-up where it took out the high down here. But now, since there's no retracement, when one of these candles shows up, usually it's rejection. See, like here, rejection, push up. Here, rejection, push up. When it's already made a huge push up, it usually means it's nearing the end. It's the final flush. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go get something to drink real quick. My coffee. I gotta have my second cup. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I am back. I don't think I missed anything in that short time. Ooh. Yeah, I'm getting close to getting stopped out on a bunch of these. Close to getting stopped out on a bunch of these, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I keep an eye on the dollar yen too. Okay, so the pound dollar, my stop is at the low here. That looks like there's going to be a retest to this pivot. So it means I'm going to get stopped out and have to look for another trade, but I'm okay. I've already took money twice on this since last week. And I'm expecting a move. It's going to come up to here. Just don't know if it's going to be today. Probably, no, it won't be because of the range. So this won't happen today unless it turns around right here. If it doesn't, it comes down to here, there's no way it's going up there today. But that's the potential target. I just hope I don't get stopped out first, but it's okay. I've done made money. And then I know where to look for the next trade. I'll go through these real quick, and then if there's no questions or comments, I'm done for the day. The Aussie dollar, I'm not in this trade. Those of you who may have got in on the push-up, which we talked about the flush down, there was no chance to get in, but right there, that was it. I'm expecting it to pull back down into here to give you the opportunity to go long. But it filled in its flush and is now selling off. If you are in it, you move your stop down when it takes this low or touches this low. You can move it down to there and just follow it down. Just remember, if it gets down into here, which may not happen today, that there could be a chance this is where it's going to turn around and head back to the upside. So just be careful of that. Plus it's tied to the dollar. Pound CAD's in a 1 hour sell. I don't think it's done to the upside. Pound yen stops underneath this candle right here, and that's the yearly pivot, so it's probably going to retest that. I hope it makes a higher high like it usually does before it comes down and retests. Euro New Zealand, I'm not in it. Pound New Zealand, I'm not in it. Nothing to do on it. New Zealand yen, I'm fixing to get stopped out right there, but that's okay. I've been in it since down here. Initially I had my stop at the low of this candle after this push higher, but now there's been no retracement, so my stop has to be right here, because this is a final flush. See, it had the spike rejection up, but we made a big huge move up. That usually means that's the final exhaustion. Now we may go a little bit higher and take that high out just barely and then sell off, but my stop's right there. I'm okay with it. Euro Aussie, that was the buy. Yesterday morning we had talked about that. It come in, it was about 40 pip risk, almost 30, 38, 36. And that big candle, my stop's under that big candle right there, and that's may get stopped out because it's got to retest this thing, so that's probably going to get me and go higher. But I hope it's just doing a little retracement, then it's going to make a push up, then I can move my stop up. But I've already made money on it, so if it does, EuroCAD is making a 1 hour sell. Again, I don't think it's done to the upside like the pound CAD. Pound Aussie, I am in this. Good, now I'm getting a push up. So my stop is at this low. I needed to go push higher, or even make another down candle into here and then push higher, or I can move my stop, just move my stop. But this is a potential target, is up to close to here. That's a yearly pivot. That's not going to happen today, so just remember that won't happen today. CAD yen. Again, my stop is here under this big candle because of the flush up. There's no retracement. I have to put it under that. That's a yearly pivot. There's probably going to be a retrace, which would mean it's going to stop me out. But this could push up, and I'm hoping that it does. It pushes up a little bit higher, where on this retracement I can move my stop up to there. You may ask, how do I get in these trades? These are my signals. You can't get these anywhere. I don't have them on the internet. I don't have them for sale. I won't ever have them for sale. Because most of these guys, when they get them, they turn around and adjust them a little bit, rename them, change the colors, and then they sell it for their own. I use it for teaching and education purposes only. Because I have to have this. That's my first signal. I have to have that first, and it doesn't show up till what I've calculated for it to show up. I'm gonna get stopped out of this probably because it's a yearly pivot. I got it under this low. It comes down there. It's coming down to here. I just need it to retrace a little bit, then push higher. Then I can move my stop up to there and continue following it up. But I made good money on this one. Made good money on the Aussie yen. I mean, not the the Aussie yen, the Euro yen, pound Aussie. Wasn't in the Euro CAD. I'm in the Euro odd, New Zealand yen, but all these look like they're going to get stopped out. Most of them. But after I've been in it, the pound yen and the pound dollar. So that's it for today, guys. No questions or comments. If there is none, that's the information for today. Hope to have another video tomorrow. I got a doctor appointment coming up. I need to check that again. Not sure what day that is. But I won't be here on Friday because I'm not here on Fridays. And I think most of you, if you've been in here in the room, this is being recorded, by the way. So if you miss any of it, you can go back and catch it. And it should be up around about noon my time. Maybe a little bit sooner. So if it's first time here, I'm on Monday through Thursday, Eastern time in the US. If you subscribe to the channel, it makes it easier for you to find out when I'm on. If you subscribe first, then hit the you'll have to click on the notify me button, and then YouTube will send you a message notifying you that I'm on live. That's the easiest way to do it. So we're planning on seeing you guys tomorrow. Good luck on your trades. Move your stops, top targets if you're in these trades. And we will see you all tomorrow, unless there's any questions, which I don't see any in the chat yet. No. But that's a yearly pivot right there, so I'm expecting to get stopped out right there. If it comes down, I need it to push up on the CAD yen to where then I can move my stop from that low up to this low, or if it comes down a little bit more. But that's a flush up, so I'm expecting nothing's going to happen today. Usually on these they kind of go sideways for a little bit, then they'll continue up, and then a day or two later then it comes back down here. This won't get filled in today. So if there's no questions, or even if I'm off my live stream, you're welcome to go to my YouTube channel and ask a question or comment, whatever you may have in there, and I'll get to it as quick as I can. So we'll plan on seeing you guys tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a good day and night.